Imagine you're walking down the street, distracted, your mind filled only with everyday city noise. Cars passing by, random conversations, footsteps echoing on the pavement. Suddenly, something slices through the sound like a needle through soft fabric. Someone calls your name. Not something similar. Not a vague approximation. Your exact name. The familiar rhythm, the precise intonation. You turn your head instinctively, as if some ancient part of your body knew that this wasn't something to ignore. But there's no one. No lips moving. No eyes looking at you. No explanation. Just that bizarre certainty that you heard something that shouldn't be there. This moment, lived silently by millions, is one of the most common, and least discussed, urban mysteries. Hearing someone call your name when no one is there. A voice so clear and so personal that it feels impossible to dismiss as a random noise, except for the fact that it simply does not exist. And yet, almost no one talks about it. Not because it's rare, but because most people believe it's too strange to admit. Like a glitch the brain produces and you're not supposed to mention. Still, the moment one person confesses they've heard their name in an empty place, dozens of others suddenly admit the same. All equally surprised. I thought it was just me. But why does this happen? If you've ever experienced this, don't worry, you're not losing your mind, there's nothing supernatural calling you, and your brain isn't malfunctioning. In fact, this small everyday scare reveals something fascinating about how your mind actually works. Your brain is a prediction machine. It doesn't just record sounds, it interprets them before you're even aware of them. That means that in certain situations, it tries to guess what you're hearing, and sometimes it gets it wrong. Not because it's defective, but because it's trying to be efficient. Imagine you're at a crowded party. Even with dozens of conversations happening at once, you immediately recognize when someone says your name. You don't consciously notice this, but your brain spent years learning the exact pattern of how your name sounds, the melody, the timing, the way people in your life pronounce it. Your name is the easiest sound for your brain to detect, even when there's almost no real signal. And that's exactly why it can appear when no one actually said it. When you're tired, overwhelmed, stressed, mentally distracted, or surrounded by noise that vaguely resembles the pattern of your name, footsteps, muffled speech, distant laughter, your brain starts scanning for familiarity. It looks for patterns, clues, fragments. And when it finds something even remotely similar to the opening frequency of your name, it fills in the rest. It completes the sound. It creates the voice. It produces the name. It's not hallucination. It's neural efficiency. Your brain is trying to protect you. For thousands of years, detecting that someone was calling you could mean survival. A warning. A threat. An important alert. Humans evolved to pick up social signals, and your name is the most urgent of them all. But there's another layer. Sometimes the phantom call happens precisely when you're deeply focused on something else. As if your brain wants to break through your tunnel of attention. And the explanation lies in something even more intriguing, your internal vigilance system. Even when you're focused, a part of your brain remains on low alert mode, scanning the environment for potential threats. This state is more common in urban settings, noisy environments, or emotionally loaded situations. And during these moments, the vigilance system becomes hypersensitive to personally relevant sounds, especially your name. But here comes the most fascinating part, auditory pareidolia. Just as your brain sees faces in clouds or electrical outlets, it hears voices in the hum of background noise. In the wind. In traffic. In footsteps. In running water. In a distant TV. Your brain tries to decode these sounds into meaningful social patterns. And nothing is more meaningful than someone calling your name. This phenomenon intensifies under stress, lack of sleep, anxiety, or sensory overload. The more emotionally charged you are, the more your brain reorganizes noise into social patterns. And your own name is the first in line. But if it's so normal, why don't people talk about it? Because it feels strange. Intimate. Slightly unsettling. Many people associate hearing their name with something paranormal or with mental illness. But this video exists to show the opposite. Hearing your name when no one called you is one of the most natural, human experiences your brain can produce. Of course, there's a difference between the normal and the concerning. Hearing your name once in a while, especially when tired, stressed, distracted, or surrounded by unpredictable noise, is perfectly normal. But if it happens frequently, in total silence, with additional voices or a constant sense of presence, that can be a sign of emotional overload or something deeper. But the phantom name phenomenon, on its own, is completely benign. It's also a reminder that your mind is not a passive recorder of reality. It actively interprets, predicts, fills in, and organizes the world. It tries to warn you even when there's no warning. It tries to guess what's coming. It tries to protect you by reacting faster than your senses can confirm. So, next time you hear your name out of nowhere, breathe. You're not being watched. You're not special in a paranormal way. You're not losing touch with reality. You're just experiencing an everyday glitch of a brain evolved to keep you alive.